Today we're going to talk about scales. I'm going to kind of move fast and give you the answers because I want to get into making music. So the name of the major scale in Beepbox is the normal happy. So if I go here, it's a normal happy face. The name of the minor scale is the normal sad. So if I go to my normal happy and I fill in my notes, I get the do re mi fa scale. Now let me erase these right now. And then if I switch it to normal sad face, I get the minor scale, which kind of sounds darker. The next thing we're going to learn about is what an interval is. So an interval is a distance between the notes. If you notice some of them are blacked out, that's because we're not using those notes. So an interval is just the distance between them. So for example, this is the distance of 2 blocks because there's one in between them. This is the distance of 1 block, which brings me to my next part. Let me get on a different scale, the expert, so I can see all the blocks. An interval is the distance between 2 notes. A half step is just 1 block up. So see how I just went 1 block up? These are all half steps. A whole step is 2 blocks up, or 2 half steps. So I skip over 1. So I went up 2 blocks. These are all whole steps. Now this is where we're going to get into creating scales in a second. But in Beepbox, a chromatic scale is called the expert scale. So that's number 6. So that's just filling in literally every single note. It won't really sound like music because music usually skips over notes. Now we're going to create a major scale right now using the expert scale. So the first thing I'm going to do is try the first 3, which is a whole step, and half step. So as I know, my whole step is just I skip over notes. So these are a whole step here and a whole step here. Then I'm going to have a half step. Now the second part of the scale is whole, 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 half. Okay, so I'm going to go whole, 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 and then at the end I have a half step. So again, whole step, half step, and then the second part, whole step, half step. Then I get this major scale. And then actually if you skip to the normal happy face, look, I just filled in every single block. Now the same thing with the minor scale. If you want to create one of those, I'm going to go to the expert here. That is whole step, half step, whole step. So I'm going to do that. Whole step, half step, whole step. And then the second half is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Say that 3 times fast. Okay, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. And then if I switch to my normal sad face, look, I just filled in every box. So next what we're going to do is we're going to create a song in the classroom so you can stop the video. But if you're at home, you can watch me right now. Basically, I created a template right here. You're going to choose your song. Open this up. And you're going to write down your choices, and these are the steps to make a song. So here's choose a major scale or minor scale. So you got to write that down here, what you chose. So if you go over here, I think I chose the minor scale, but if you want to choose a major scale, just change that. And then the next step is you choose your sound for the blue melody. So some of the lead instruments sound great for melodies, or basically any instrument that might play a melody in a song, like a violin might play it or a trumpet. I like to use the lead instruments, guitars would work. So whatever you want to use. Um, and then the next part is you make a melody. And then you choose a bass line. So the bass line is here's the orange. You got to choose a sound and make your own bass line. Then the next step is to add a pad. So basically a pad is just a long note. And as you listen to my song I'm going to share with you, you'll see what I did for the pad. You can create harmony with the pads. Those are basically whole notes. And then the drum, oops, those don't sound good, those two intervals. And then I created drums. You can add in and fill in some beats with that, make your own song. Here's an example of a song that I created so you can hear all those steps I did. Here it is. Here's my pad. Here's my harmony with the pad. Change the drum beat here. Then I'm going to do a breakdown right here. So when you go back and you finish, you kind of see what instruments I chose for the intro. I chose the bass and the drums. And then for the main verse, I had all the instruments going. Well, actually, I didn't. I took out the bass, so I just had drums, pad, and melody. And then for my breakdown at the end, I had just drums and bass. I kind of added those in there somehow really quickly. So that's your assignment. If you have any questions, email me. Don't forget to copy your song from Beepbox. It's just Command-C and paste it down here, your song, when you finish. Have fun.